So how are you?
Bro, busy.
I know. That's
Busy.
exactly
But
that's exactly why I wanted to get you on, man. You're working with just about everybody these days. It looks like you're the new, and I don't want you to take any offense because I know he had a bad rap at one point in his career, but like you're the new Alex Ariza right now. You're like the go-to strength and conditioning coach, no?
well, you know what? I just take it day by day, and I'm grateful for everyone who trusts me in that journey because I never take it lightly. These guys put their life on the line every time they go in that ring. So I realize a lot of the major issues come from guys getting fatigued and making mistakes, and that's usually when they get hurt or bad, rehydration after, cutting weight. So I take those responsibilities very seriously. So for everyone who's ever, acquired my services or asked me to be part of their team or their family or their journey, I'm grateful for it because I know everything that's on the line every time they get in there.
So I want to take you back to your start because I know that you had a track and field start, and I don't want to
Mhm.
overstep and say your start was when I think it was. So when was your start in boxing?
You know what? No, but Stephen, if anything, I think you know my complete story. But I started here with Sean Porter and Kenny Porter about a decade ago. And I saw Sean Porter working out at the track and along with Kenny Porter. And at the time, I had no idea who Sean Porter was. I had no idea who Kenny Porter was. As a matter of fact, I thought Sean was a football player, and I had been working with many NFL guys up to that point, and introduced myself and found out that Sean was a boxer. And I gave my card to Kenny Porter. Probably 2 weeks later, he called me and asked me if I could take Sean through a workout and can I get guys in shape? And I said, absolutely. That's exactly what I do. And so we did a workout. Sean loved it. Kenny loved it. And then Kenny asked me to be part of a camp. At that time, I had no idea what a camp really consisted of. I just was like, I want to help, but I don't want to take a chance on ruining this young man's opportunity. And he said, no, come to the gym every day for free. Listen, learn, pay attention, and you just do your strength work and your conditioning work. And I said, okay. So I went to the gym every day, probably around 4 hours a day, if not five, every day for free, just so I could learn. That's when I learned. That's when I met a young Devin Haney at that point. I think Devin was like, I want to say maybe 13, 14
Mm,
years old at that time. And because how old is Devin now? Like 23, 24?
24.
24. So he was 14 years old then. And I met a young Devin Haney at that time. And he was doing some spar work with Sean Porter at that time, doing the last couple of rounds just so that Sean could stay active. And I knew then he would be talented, but that's what my start really began. I was going to the gym every day.
And since Sean, how many fighters have you worked with in total, regardless if you're still with them or not with them? Have you kept count?
No, brother. You know what? I have that down on paper at my house. I don't keep it on top of my head. I do know that my winning percentage is like 88, 89% out of all the wins and losses of all the fights. But I don't remember the exact number. I do know there's like 14 world titles, and I have no idea how many championship or world title rounds I have underneath my belt. I would guess somewhere around 60 to maybe 80, just me guessing. I have no real idea of paying attention to it. But I've been there for a while. I've been through a lot of different camps, a lot of different experiences for sure.
And are you still working with Keller Plant?
I worked with Caleb for his last fight, and he brought in another guy to work with him as well. And I worked with also for that full camp. We have not talked about anything.
Hmm. Dropped off. That was strange. Damn, how you just dropped like that? Hopefully he comes back. Must have got a call. That is Coach Larry Wade. Once again, for any Patreon or YouTube member, head on over our Patreon page. You'll find the respective post for Coach Larry Wade, and the same for YouTube members is right there on our communities page. Larry, you're back. Yeah, we got you.
I don't know. I don't know what happened, brother. I apologize.
No worries, no worries.
No, I worked with Caleb for his last fight, and as far as I know right now, we're still working together. But we have not started anything for the new possible fight he has in front of him.
And I seen you on the track with Rolly. I know there's a lot of rumors about Rolly having a fight. So How's that been going?
Well, I just got back. I'm gonna be very honest. I was gone for about 10 weeks. I was
Wow.
in camp with Jake Paul in Puerto Rico. So I've been back now a total of 2 weeks. And so I haven't started really working with guys, full blown as of yet. I need a little decompression time for myself. And on top of that, 1 week after I got home, I got COVID. So
Oh
I was
wow.
in the bed for about a week. So I'm just now starting
COVID
to move
still
around. And
exists? What the hell?
yeah, it's actually starting to get worse again, actually. But
Uh
I was in
oh.
COVID for a week, and I'm just now starting to move around again. So I haven't had a chance to really lock up with anyone after being gone for almost 3 months. And I guess technically it is 3 months. So I'm gonna follow up with guys this week and kind of see where we are moving forward. I
So
know
that
Robby
post was
Ramirez has a
old?
fight coming up this fall. Say that again.
The post you posted was old? When you and him was on the
Of which one?
track and you were saying something like you very proud of this young man.
We're Rolly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had to be old because I haven't seen Rolly since he won his title in May.
Whoa. Okay, so that must have
Yeah,
been something old you posted.
possibly.
Okay, okay.
Oh yeah, that was of him walking. He was talking.
Yeah, y'all was on the
Yeah,
track
that was
together.
that was an old post that I didn't get a chance to put up, and because the kid is hilarious, man. If you get a chance to really be around him, first of all, he's really smart. I don't care what no one says. If you really stay around the kid, you realize he's almost genius. He's so smart, but
Mm.
he's also a lot of fun.
So how was your time in Puerto Rico with Jake?
It was great. Listen, man, I didn't know what to expect, but I flew out to see Jake in April actually for kind of like just a fill out period to see if we can both mesh well together. And I didn't know what to expect. It was my first time meeting him. The only thing I really knew is what I saw on social media. And so when I got there, I realized this kid is a real professional about what he does. He doesn't play in the gym. From the time that he walks in the gym, he sits down, he puts on his shoes, he's saying hello to everybody while he's putting his shoes on, he's rapping, he's starting to warm up, and he's straight to the work. And when the work is over, he ain't in there just spending all day and playing. He getting this recovery stuff in line, getting ready to go home and eat, so he can do whatever he needs to do, in the next training session. He's a true professional. But I didn't know what to expect. But what made me really want to work with Jake was Jake said a couple of things to me that really stood out to me. He said, first thing, coach, don't ever lie to me about where I'm at. Don't lie to me. Just tell me the truth. If I'm ready, I'm ready. If I'm not, I'm not. I don't want to be told that I'm ready if I ain't ready. I don't want to be, blowing my head up. Tell me the truth. And I respect that. I said, well, Jake, my reputation on the line as well. So I'm not going to ever tell you anything that's not the facts about where you're at. First thing. And then the second thing he said to me, he said, coach, I want to be a world champion. And I took a step back, brother. I'm not going to lie. I've been in this game at a high level for a long time. So I took a step back to be like, did this kid just say he want to be a world champion? And then I said to myself, why not? Why can't he? Who am I to say, or who is anyone in a position to tell him what he can and cannot do? And that made me excited because, okay, let me go against the odds. Let me help this young man get to where he say he wants to be. And if I'm as good as I want to be and pretend to be, then I'll be able to help this young man get to where he wants to go if he's willing to commit and put in the work. And I see.
Why he keep dropping off like that? I ain't getting that. And we know that ain't never happened. So that gotta be a Larry Wade thing. But he'll be jumping back on probably, hopefully. I was getting deep into that Jake Paul story. Coach, go
Oh,
for it, man. I don't know what's going on. That's never
me
happened, but
either.
let's just keep it moving.
Yeah. So I never worked with another young man who has, you know, come into the sport the way he's come into the sport. He didn't have a long amateur, career. But when I tell you the young man works his ass off and doesn't complain and does everything I ask him to do to the best of his ability, man, I have no complaints with Jake Paul and his work ethic and his commitment to the sport. He was not playing with this thing. He committed like any other world champion did, and I would dare anyone to challenge that at any point because he definitely did that. He worked just as hard, if not harder, than a lot of the guys I've worked with in the past.
Mm, that's impressive.
He's serious. Listen. You know my workouts are not easy. You've heard about them. I tried to take you through them. No one's ever said to you, "Oh yeah, that easy work." And that young man put in the work and he committed and did it all the workouts, bro, all of them.
Mm. And did you watching his performance versus Diaz? Did you feel that everything worked out as it should? And I don't mean from
Absolutely,
the
but
performance in the ring. I mean, your department, strength and conditioning, him having the stamina for the duration of the fight, him being explosive, those things.
I felt like he did everything he should have done to be at that point. You got to talk about development. Here's a guy who has like 8 fights, and we're taking this young man from 0 to 8 to 10 rounds. Most professionals who come from with a long amateur career are not fighting 10 round fights in their seventh, eighth fight, right? So for him to go as far as he did in that short period of time and put in the work to get there and still bounce around in round 10 and still be able to throw power punches, he did everything that needed to be done, and I commend him on that. And I can promise you it's only going to get better. Like I said, you name another world champion outside of just a couple maybe that have had to go 10 rounds in that seventh, eighth fight. They're not many, but
Not
he had to
many.
do it coming from not coming from a not a amateur background. That's huge. That's a huge testament to who he is mentally. This kid is strong mentally, man. You'd be surprised.
Nah, I mean, there's a lot of people that don't want to give him his credit, but you can tell how different and strong he is because I mean, he was already rich. Let's be real. He
It
was
was.
already rich. He could have continued to make money uploading videos and collecting endorsements and doing all the other things. He decided to get punched in the face and be a competitor and continue to
Right.
do that even when people say that he's not good or that he won't be. So you can tell that, he's willing himself to do this and more. Um, how far do you see him going? I know you said who are you to say that he can or can't become world champ, but how far do you see him going?
I mean, we're gonna be honest about the sport. There's guys who made it to be world champions that we question now, like how'd they ever get this far? And I know for a fact that with that being said, even though this is a sport, it's also a form of entertainment. I feel like he has every opportunity and every chance to become a world champion like anyone else. And I want to be able
Absolutely.
to help him get there.
I think he has more of an opportunity because of obviously the finances that he brings to a fight, the eyeballs that he brings to a fight. So he'll get more opportunities than a dangerous opponent.
Let's talk about the commitment to it, right? Let's talk about that because this young man he put real boxing trainers around him. No fluff guys. He had myself come in. He had Jillian Love come in. He had Third Chambers come in. Who all these guys come from the Crunk system, which is a very hard, challenging system. A lot of world champions came out of that. He brought real top level guys in. He brought James Lockwood in, who's worked with all the top guys, even Devin Haney. He as a nutritionist, he brought in the top guys in the sport.
Oh man. Why? Why? Is he on Wi-Fi? Like, I mean, come on. At this point, I don't have to say we've never had this happen. All right. One of us gonna get tired. Coach, I don't know. Are you on
Can
Wi-Fi
you
or
hear?
is it cell? What is it? No Wi-Fi over
I don't know.
there?
I got full service over here though.
I
I don't know.
know.
I
So
have full service.
crazy.
All my bars, 5G. I'm sitting still. So it's unfortunate, but this young man, he has put real top level guys around him. Like I said, Theodore Chambers from the Crunk Gym System. Jay Leon Love. He had Shane Mosley Sr. come in. He had James Lockwood come in. He had all top level guys come in, and nobody was holding back on him. I can promise you, everybody was at his head, and he toughed it out and he got it done. So I see nothing but bigger opportunity from him for him. And if you think about most amateurs that come from an amateur background to turn pro, they usually don't have that level of experience around them when they start their career.
That's right.
They usually and they have to earn their way up and pay their way up and get enough money to get a top level trainer. But he's been able to get a lot of top level guys around him and start to instill the mentality that's needed to get there. Nobody was holding back. So I was proud of the work he did, and I was proud of the team and what they did.
And obviously, you got Robby Ramirez. What's next with him? Are you going to continue to work with him? And what are you expecting?
Absolutely.
There's been some talk of a new way moving up and possibly
Uh,
challenging some of these 26 pounders now that he's won some titles at 22. Obviously, they want him to fight Tapales first and be undisputed, but it sounds like, a
yep.
few months from now, maybe a half a year from now, a potential fight with the champions at 26. And Robise being in house with Top Rank makes sense.
Well, let's start with Tapales. Tapales is mine too. So he got to go through my
Oh,
guy
wow,
Tapales
really?
first. Yeah, I was training Tapales for when he unified got the unified belt in April 8th.
Oh,
I've been in
wow.
his camp.
Shout out
So
to you,
this,
coach.
bro, it's been about 6 world titles this year, bro. But he gonna have to go through that guy first, and we're gonna start and stop with that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
As far as Robesi is concerned, Robesi is a super talent. He's not normal. He is definitely a has a huge IQ in that ring. There aren't a lot of boxers like him, even in this game. I don't care what weight division, and he can just do things that other people can't do because of the vision he has. And not only just a vision, the boy can punch. He's smart. He's quick. He's explosive. He has all the skills necessary, and I really feel like he has an opportunity to unify 26. Now, if that other fight happens to come up at 26, say a year, 2 years from now, he'll be right here waiting for him. He's built like that. He has everything he needs.
Mm. So that's Caleb, Robise, Jake, Rolly.
Okay, we got to start from the bottom. We're gonna start from the bottom, because that way, Jay Bonea at 115, right? Uh, we got let's see, we'll go 26. No, Marlon Tapales at 22. Um, at 26, Robby Ramirez at 30. Pablo Vicente, who's ranked number 2 in the world, at 30. At 40, Rolly. At 54, I just picked up Gomez, who just lost his fight not too long ago. But um, and then at let's see, 60, Shane Mosley Jr.
Wait,
That's
Yoelvis Gomez.
yes, yes. I just picked him up. The kid's talented. He lost that fight, and I want to help him get back to the top. The kid can thump. He just had a bad outing, and he's back in Vegas training with Salas and me. So Salas and I, should I say? And so he's at 54. Um, let's see, 60. I got Shane Mosley Jr. at 68. I got Caleb. I have no one at 75. I have three guys at cruiser. But of course, Jake being one of them, Badu Jack is always going to be my guy. Anytime.
Why? Why? Why they hating on this interview, bruh? This has got to be a joke. Come on back, coach. Come on back. We was almost done. Actually, we didn't even get to the people's questions. Damn, that is so it's corny. He probably tired. Like, man, I ain't coming back, man. Shit. Every time I say that, he jump right on. You were saying three cruiserweights. Badu Jack is always
Hey,
gonna be your guy.
hey, I forgot one too. A world champion, Kazuto Ioka at
Okay.
115. He won the world title against Franco this year as well. He's my guy as well. Um, got Joe Joyce and
So you still with
Tristan.
Joyce
Yes, yes,
for
yes,
this rematch.
yes, yes,
So he's here in
yep,
Vegas.
yes.
So what can you do
And
different? Because he didn't seem to get tired. It was more about just one
no,
dude banged more, right?
well, it's a couple of things. One, At the end of the day, he has to get out of the way of that left hand. That's first thing.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing, second thing is I feel like we had some nutritional issues along the way that were actually brought up during camp, the last camp, and I feel like we paid for it in a number of ways. And I think that the only way you become great at what you do is to be able for everyone to put their stuff on the line in an honesty standpoint and get to the truth of the matter and then actually fix those problems so you don't deal with that now. I can promise you the young man that you saw in there is going to be much bigger the night of this next fight. He's not going to be, well, I don't know how many stones they say in England, but he ain't going to be 250, nothing. I can promise you that. And you learn,
So,
you live and you learn. And,
but is that gonna slow him down though, Coach? Now putting on weight.
no, no, I don't feel like that's going to be a problem. I feel as if um, there comes a certain level of durability and a certain level of power that comes with size, especially in the heavyweight division, right? So if you got a guy who, if just say you got a ball that's 30 pounds and you throw it at 100 miles an hour, and then you get a ball that's 100 pounds and you throw it at 100 miles an hour, the impact is definitely going to be much larger and much harder at a 100-pound ball. So you got to get a guy, which he is, who's durable, strong, big, and he can bring the type of power with him every time he touches you. And I think that's really important. And I felt like it was really important for the last fight as well. And so, everyone goes through their cycle, and as a team, you figured out what the problem is. And from a boxing standpoint, from a nutritional standpoint, from a strength conditioning standpoint, and this camp has been a totally different camp.
I got GP 3000. What fighter have you worked with that you would say was your hardest worker, and which fighter was the best, like just pure talent?
Woo. I got to give the hardest worker statement to Caleb Plant. Caleb works his ass off. He puts in a lot of work, and he makes sure that he does. He tries to go up and be above and beyond what's needed. So I would say Caleb works. He would definitely get the hardest worker. And but there's some other guys that's close. Badu Jack is right there. Sean Porter's right there, and Jake Paul is right there. To be honest with you, but those guys have definitely put in. Those guys work their ass off. But it would be Caleb from a talent standpoint. Robby Ramirez is special, bro.
Hmm.
He is. Robby's special. He not like everybody else, bro. I don't care what no. Y'all got to really get to see this young man. This young man is not like everybody else. I don't care what they say from a boxing standpoint. He could just do things and see things that I just don't see many people able to see and do. So he has a gift. And not to say that my other athletes don't because they became world champions for a reason. But I knew 2 years ago that this kid was special, and I'm just grateful that I'm part of the team.
James Valdez, San Antonio, Texas. Should Errol Spence jump right back into the rematch with Bud, or should he get a tune-up at 154 first? And do you think his mantra of no tune-ups backfired on him in their first fight by having 15 months to get in that ring, actually, with Crawford since his last fight? Holy shit, he dropped off again. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. He's coming back. We're going to leave his name on the screen and everything. While we wait for him, go ahead and smash that thumbs up. Don't be a hater. There you go. You need me to repeat the question, Coach?
Kicking me out because they keep saying thanks for joining. It kicks me off. But listen, to answer that question, I feel as if we don't know what happened in camps. Camps are very complicated. We don't know how Errol's camp went. We don't know if he, had good sparring or whatever the case may be. But if I'm Errol, I'm not quick to jump back into that ring with Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford is a dog in there,
Hmm.
and he gonna come even harder the second time around. I feel like if I'm Errol, I'm taking a little time off away from that, spend some time with my family, and then regroup with your coach, Derek James. I hate the way they just dog Derek James after this fight. And I really do, because just a year ago we was talking about how amazing he is, and now he has a bad fight. Now he's not good. No, the guy's great. He had a bad fight. It didn't go the way he wanted. That doesn't determine him not being a good trainer. Derek, keep doing what you're doing. Um, I feel like the best way for Errol Spence to get a tune-up at 154, yes, get a fight, work on some of the things that may be a problem, and then come back and fight for your title. That's what I feel like the best route is.
All right. I have Optimus Prime. Much respect to you, coach. Which new fighter that you train stands out to you as a future champion?
Jake,
Oh, wow.
Jake Paul. Yeah, because a lot of my guys been in the game and they're good and they've already established themselves as being already on their way up that ladder. Jake gets questioned every time he takes a step. So for a guy who has 7, 8 fights and me to see his work ethic, to see his commitment, to see his true athleticism, this guy is a real athlete. Do you understand? A real
Uh-huh.
athlete. And so when you got a guy who has that level of athleticism, that level of dog and fight in him and commitment, it's hard to stop a guy like that from being successful. I think we just have to give him more time, keep the right kind of people around him, and then he has a great chance to be able to pull that off. So I would have to say him.
Coach, that's all the questions, man. If you can, give out your social media and direct the audience to where they can find you. We do appreciate you for putting up with the getting kicked out. I don't know what's going on.
I would have rather came in and did those shows. So next time, let me come in. I'd rather
You
do that.
got it. You
Hey,
got
so
it. You
listen, you
got
guys
it.
can follow me at Coach Larry Wade at every platform. Coach Larry Wade at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever there is Coach Larry Wade. And listen, thank all you guys for supporting boxing. Thank all you guys for supporting the Boxing Voice. Thank you guys for supporting me and these athletes because they really put a lot on the line. They sacrifice a lot with their families. And if you really understood how much they had to give up, you would definitely value what they do. Thank you guys so much because we understand without you, there's no us. So keep being great, keep being amazing, keep pushing, and let no one tell you what you can't acquire. Just keep on working at it. You got it.
Let's go. Appreciate you. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you,
Coach
sir.
Larry Wade. What up, YouTube family? Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to that 1,000,000 subscribers. We're on the road to 1,000,000. And obviously, we have other great content on our Patreon channel. So since this video is over, head on over to our Patreon and check out all the exclusive content or right here on our YouTube members.